contribution, right?
We'll take it. Former governor and presidential candidate Mitt Romney with some tough words for President Bill Clinton, saying his affair with Monica Lewinsky embarrassed our nation, but that it won't be an issue if Hillary Clinton runs for office in 2016. Listen.
Times when he was president were by and large positive economic times for the country. On the other hand, he embarrassed the nation. He breached his responsibility, I think, as an adult and as a leader in his relationship, and I think that's very unfortunate. But I don't think that's Hillary Clinton's to explain. She has her own record, her own vision for where she would take the country.
Well, nevertheless, they're talking about it a lot out there. Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio talk show host, Fox News contributor, and Michael Graham, a radio talk show host for the New England Talk Network. And welcome to both of you.
Happy to be here.
Good morning.
What are the realistic expectations, Michael, about issues that President Clinton had coming up if Hillary Clinton decides she'll make a run for president?
Well, we should point out that Mitt Romney was asked about this, and when Mitt wasn't out going, let me talk about Bill Clinton. And I think he's right that the idea that that this is going to be a key part of the election about the future is nonsense. At the same time, this is part of Hillary Clinton's problem. Hillary has no record. She has to go back to the 1990s to find a moment where she was somewhat relevant. And that, of course, is Hillary Care. And the problem with Hillary Care is a precursor to the biggest policy failure in the past 40 years, which is Obamacare. So what does Hillary talk about? She can't talk about today because Obamacare stinks and people want to run from everything related to Obama. And she can't talk about the 1990s because all she did in the 1990s was try to screw up health care and stand by her cheating man.
I guess
That's the entire Hillary record.
I guess the question is, Leslie, will she have to talk about what President Bill Clinton did in the White House, both in a run-up to a race, a decision to be in the race, and perhaps residence at the White House?
Well, first of all, I just have to say, Michael, the fact that you could inject Obamacare into a question about Mitt Romney and Hillary Clinton and an affair that Bill Clinton I have to commend you for that, Michael, that you could connect those dots. But regarding Hillary, you know what? As a woman, do you ever notice, do the men that run have to answer for their wives who are politically active or otherwise? I think everybody's going to question what would the role for the first man be, as it would be the first man. But as to her record as opposed to her husband's record in the past as president, I think it's very sexist for us to even consider that we would look at that.
Leslie,
I mean, when he was president, she was first lady and his wife, and she has a political career on her own as a senator and secretary of state.
Yeah, both of you.
Leslie,
well,
would you have
Michael, you were bringing up Obamacare. Leslie's giving you kudos for that in your answer. But what about you skipped over the time that Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State? What about the issue of foreign affairs?
Oh, yeah, so she's going to run on her record as Secretary of State, fiasco after fiasco, from Russia to Benghazi. She has no accomplishment as Secretary of State to point towards. As a U.S. Senator, she got elected as a Democrat in a state she'd never lived in, and she did exactly nothing of significance. Now, once again, this doesn't mean she's not smart, doesn't mean that she's not capable. It means she has no record. What's she going to talk about? But I want to go back to Leslie as a woman. Leslie, would you have stood next to your man if he had done what Bill Clinton did? Would you have stood there like Tammy Wynette and said, everyone leave him alone, you're picking on him? No, you wouldn't. I know you, Leslie. You're a real woman. You're a true feminist, and I can't imagine women rallying around Hillary.
All right, well, Leslie isn't in that situation, so it's tough to speculate. But Leslie, do you see Bill Clinton as a plus or a minus for Hillary? Will she have to do strategic analysis and strategic planning in terms of how she handles questions about the fact that she did stand by her husband and still does today?
Well, quite frankly, many people would say that's very admirable. I know even in my own family there are people that have weathered that storm and their marriage came out stronger. I would kick my husband to the curb, politically active or otherwise. But quite frankly, with Hillary and Bill and their relationship, that is beyond old history. If you look at what Bill Clinton has done post-presidency, it's phenomenal. This is a man that is loved by the world. He will be an asset to her, not only in this nation, but worldwide, not only with his experience. He's one of the greatest speakers of our times. He's a heck of a fundraiser. People love him. And I think a lot of people actually look at and even welcome somewhat of a package deal, as he would certainly help to advise her as first man.
All right, fair and balanced. I imagine there's opinion on both sides of that one. Michael and Leslie, great to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.